My own view on the penalty for murder has evolved. I never a supporter of the death penalty. But the more I study this matter and begin to understand the minds of the criminals, there are no souls there. They have no heart. They need to be removed from among us.
Hello, welcome to True News JA. We now have a developing story from out of Kingston. Two men were shot on Wednesday evening just outside the gate to Kingston Public Hospital in downtown Kingston. One of the men, Robert Marley, who was from a Golden Heights address in Kingston, has since died. The other man has been hospitalized. Reports from the police are that Marley was sitting next to a pan chicken man at the entrance to the hospital when a gunman approached on foot about 7 p.m. and opened fire, hitting both of them. Since the gun attack, the police have since identified Evroy Smith, otherwise called Little Giant, of Pink Lane, Kingston 14 as a suspect. They've given him until tomorrow evening to report to them. Meanwhile, healthcare workers and others at the facility are concerned following the gun attack. The police have assured them that they will be beefing up their presence in and around the public hospital.
Well, the incident which took place at the gate of the Kingston Public Hospital, we have identified the deceased person to be Robert Marley, and he's from a Golden Heights address. We have identified also a main suspect, Evroy Smith, otherwise called Little Giant, and these are for Pink Lane address in Kingston 14, and we are asking him to surrender to the police at Denhamtown CIB no later than 6 p.m. on Thursday. Yes, and we have realized too that this particular incident have caused some amount of concern to our medical staff and hospital workers at the KPH. We have increased our security forces presence in and around the area and will continue with these efforts to reassure our health workers and provide a safe environment for them to traverse to and from work.
A 55-year-old female Higgler was shot dead by unknown assailants in capture land in Lioneltown, Clarendon on Wednesday night. The deceased is Sandra Dawkins of Lioneltown. Reports are that about 7:30 p.m., Dawkins was walking along a roadway in the area when she was pounced upon and shot several times. Residents who heard the explosions summoned the police, and on their arrival, Dawkins' body was found with gunshot wounds. She was transported to the hospital, where she was pronounced dead. No motive has yet been established for the latest killing to rock Lioneltown. On Sunday, November 5th, an alleged gangster who was identified as 34-year-old Kevin Mitchell, alias Coogan, was shot dead in the southeastern Clarendon town. There is no information to suggest that both murders are related. Mitchell, a shop owner of Church Street in Lioneltown, was allegedly making an illegal electrical connection when he was approached by armed men who opened gunfire, hitting him in the upper sections of his body. Police investigators theorize that he was slain by rival gangsters. Mitchell was believed to have been a member of one of Clarendon's top gangs. Law enforcers also said he was as a key suspect in a 2018 double murder of two women, and also the 2020 murder of a man, in Alley and Lioneltown, respectively, all of which are located in the parish. Prime Minister Mr Holness says he has given a clear order to the security forces that the man responsible for Monday's triple killing in which two boys were shot dead as they made their way home from school must be brought to justice. 9-year-old Nakaliva Smith and 7-year-old Justin Perry, along with 26-year-old Tevin Hale, were shot and killed by a gunman as they sat in a taxi in Salt Spring in the parish. Hale was reportedly the target of the gunman. On Thursday, Mr Holness visited the boys' school, Chetwood Memorial Primary.
I got some reports of how the police worked at back to school to ensure that the children could go back to school, providing them with support. And at Christmas, and it seemed to have been working. The level of reports of serious crime fell, but it shows you that the potential still exists in these communities. They still have the guns, and they can use them at any time because they know nobody will talk. Well, the policy of the government is going to shift now. Well, not shift, expand, because as I stand here, I have given a directive to all the security apparatus. They must find the perpetrator. They must find him. So he thinks he's safe, we are going to find him. But we are also going to find the people who supported you, who knew, and bring you all to justice. All of the gang wars that are going on and all the people who claim that they are done, we're going to slowly dismantle the ecosystems that protect. So we are going to make some changes to make misprision of felony a substantial provision in the laws that we have, whether it is going to be in the Offences Against a Person or the Firearms Act or the anti-gang legislation. The legal drafts people will tell us how to do it. But we're going to bring them in and we're going to set stiff penalties for them and all the other offences that flow from the commission of a murder.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister says someone must know the identity of the gunman responsible for Monday's triple killing in the community.
All of the gang wars that are going on and all the people who claim that they are done, we're going to slowly dismantle the ecosystems that protect. So we are going to make some changes to make misprision of felony a substantial provision in the laws that we have, whether it is going to be in the Offences Against a Person or the Firearms Act or the anti-gang legislation. The legal drafts people will tell us how to do it. But we're going to bring them in and we're going to set stiff penalties for them and all the other offences that flow from the commission of a murder. My own view on the penalty for murder has evolved. I never a supporter of the death penalty. But the more I study this matter and begin to understand the minds of the criminals, there are no souls there. They have no heart. They need to be removed from among us. But I'm not here to get into a debate about jurisprudence on this matter. Within the limits of that jurisprudence, I believe the highest penalty possible should be applied.
What's your name? Lizzie Mays. And tell me, Lizzie Mays, what are you going to do? You want an autograph? How do we do that? How do we do that? Lizzie May, that's M-A-E. And what's your last name? Today is the 9th?
Today is the 9th of the 11th. Okay, let me check your papers. Thank you.
I say to you, the teachers, that I know at this point you are also mourning and you are trying to come to terms with what has happened, and you need to be able to lead the process of coming to grips, coming to terms, because you have the children in your hands. And a part of that is to be assured that the leadership of the country understands what is happening. We have a plan in place. It might take some time, so you understand the gap between saying what the plan is and actually getting the plan executed. That gap in time could lead to a lot of frustration, disenchantment, but once you are engaged, then you know how to posture and how to support the children. So by my saying directly what it is the government plans to do, you don't have to wait on the government to institute a policy of non-violence in schools. The principal could take it upon himself to say, look, certain behaviors will not be tolerated on the part of teachers, on the part of parents, on the part of students. Bring the school community together and say, this is a violence-free space.